सो हेलो गाइज, वेलकम टू माय यूट्यूब चैनल्स। और इस वीडियो में हम लोग देखेंगे कि स्ट्रिंग बफर और स्ट्रिंग बिल्डर का ऑब्जेक्ट कैसे क्रिएट करते हैं और उस ऑब्जेक्ट को कैसे यूज करते हैं। ओके, सो हम लोग कोडिंग पार्ट को इस वीडियो में हैंडल करने की कोशिश करेंगे। ओके, सो लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड। सो आई एम गोइंग टू माय Eclipse and I will create one new class, okay, which is class, and class name I will give a test string buffer. Simple. Okay, so I created one string buffer classes for testing, and in main I will create main method, and I am going to create a string buffer object. So string buffer. So if you create a string buffer, SB equal to new string buffer, new string buffer. So here you can see there are multiple string constructor. Okay, we have a multiple constructors. For example, string buffer is one of the non-parameterized constructor. A string buffer with character sequence parameters. A string buffer int capacity, it will take the capacity as integers. A string buffer, it will take the string as argument. Those many string having a constructors. Okay, so let's create with the empty. Okay, string buffer. If you want to see like whatever he written the code for the string buffer, just click press your controllers and mouse over on this, and you can go to the implementation. So in implementation classes you can see these are the imported. Okay, if you go down, here is a string buffer class, public final class. So a string buffer class is final. Final, it means if you declare any class as a final, so you can't create a child of those class. In inheritance you already know, like parental child relationship. So you can't create a child of this string buffer class. So for that he put it final variables. So if you make any class as a final, then you can't create a child of those class. Understood? And this class is abstract builder, serializable also, and comparable also, character sequence also. He implemented those interface. Inside this, if you go, he used the variable as a transient to a string cache. He write the serial version of id also, and these are the string buffer constructor. Public string buffer without parameters, string buffer constructor with capacity parameter as an integer he taking. We have another string constructor. So in one class you can create a multiple constructor based on the parameter. So you can change the parameter and you can create a multiple constructor in one class. So for a string buffer he created 4 constructor. How many constructor?
4 constructor.
4 constructor he created. Okay, let's go. And if you want to assign some data here in a string buffer, you can directly assign here like Java. So Java he will take, and if you try to print it, it will print Java. So S out, if I print SP, what is the output?
Java.
Java. Okay, Java. A string buffer having some append method which is used to add the data inside this existing object. So I will say sb dot append sb dot ape, okay, sb dot double P. How many methods are there? So many methods. Append, 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 append. Those many methods. Almost more than 10. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 12 method. 13 methods are there. And those all methods are overloaded methods. Got it? In a string buffer having those methods. Okay? Those methods. Yeah. So overloaded means in the one class having a multiple method with the different parameters, and a method name should be same. That is called method overloading. So append is nothing but method overloaded methods in Java. Okay? Understood? What did you understood?
Method overloaded.
Method overloaded. So
One parameter, one class, one method, but different parameters. That is called method overloaded.
yeah. So append. A string buffer having a append method. Those method is nothing but overloaded method. And I will pass here good. Okay. Now what is the output? If I print SB, Java good or only Java?
Both.
You think both. Okay, same thing I will write for a string. Same thing I will write for a string. So what I am going to do is, here I will remove the buffer and I will write a string. I will write a string, and a string does not have a, remember it, a string does not have a append method. A string having a concat method.
Concat.
Yeah. A string having a concat method. So if you use append method, it will give error. So you have to write concat method. Concat with good. And here I will print S, SB, SB, SB. Now tell me, what is the output for first and second? Sorry. Tell me.
String. Java
String S equal to new string Java S dot concatenate. So you know a string is a immutable. So if you concatenate with something, it will create new object. But a string buffer is not immutable, it's a mutable. So if you add something, it will not create new object, it will put inside this only object. But concatenate will not put inside this object. So this one will give Java only, or this one will give what? Java good. Let's run it. See this output. So through that you can say like Java is a string is a immutable, and a string buffer is not
mutable.
Yeah, mutables. If I do same thing for the string buffer, okay, string buffer, string builder, string buffer, string builder. So I will say here string builder, string builder, and I will say string, yeah, 1 is also fine. I will put here 1 and here also 1. Okay, now what is the output for a string builder? So
Java good.
these two classes are the
Mutable.
and this one is
Non-mutable.
not mutable, it's a immutable. So if you add the concat method, it will not add the existing object. Okay, it will not add inside this existing object. Okay, it will add, but it will return some object. If you not store, it will not work. But in append method you can add it. So let's see. These are the output. So interviewer will ask you sometimes like that also questions, like can you prove it, like what is the immutable, why it's not immutables. So like that you can give the proof. Okay, why our class is immutable, why not immutables, why a string is immutable, why a string buffer is not immutable. So like that you can give there some example. You can create an object and you can try to add something on that. If it is not a store, it means that is what?
Differences.
Immutable and mutable differences. Okay, next if I try to discuss with you, I will tell one more thing, like in a string buffer having some methods. So for example, you have to remember all those things. For example, if I'm going with the string buffer, I will remove this because we already discussed about the string methods. So here you can see SB, यानी कि string buffer having a lots of methods, append methods. If you go down, you can see capacity methods, caret methods, chars methods, code point at, code point before, code point count, code points, compare to, delete.
Compare to string maybe.
Yeah, in both having a this methods. Delete methods, delete caret, ensure capacity, equals, get chars, get class, hash code, index of
V string में.
yes. So some methods are common also. Okay, and insert method having, we have a lots of methods, so we can go and check out those methods. Like whatever the methods you required, you can use it. We have a substring, len, set caret, everything. So you have to check out it and you have to explore about those methods, like what is the uses, and you can use it and you can understand. As of now, my responsibility is like explain the things, explain the classes, like how it will work, what is the responsibility of these classes, what is the need of these classes, and those I have done in this video. But it's your responsibility to check all those classes, a string buffer, a string builder, whatever the method is there, you have to remember it. And also you have to know about like when we use those methods. So I already explained those in for the string, but for the string buffer and the string builder, you have to check out based on your requirement. You can search on the Google, it will come and you can use it. And you have to must know about what is the differences of a string buffer, a string builder. Those I already covered in the previous video. So as of now, I can say I have completed the string handling concept. These are the only string handling. So we can handle the string with the three classes, which is a string buffer, and a string builder. In those classes having some differences, which I already explained you. In those classes having some separate method also, common method also. Those method you can use and you can perform the operation on that. That's it. For the interview point of view, you have to aware about some method also and differences of them. Okay, that's it is enough to crack the any interview for the string handling. I hope कि आपको समझ में आ गया होगा. थैंक यू सो मच. अगर आपको अच्छे से समझ में आ गया होगा तो प्लीज़ मेरे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब करें, वीडियो को लाइक करें और मेरे साथ जुड़े रहने के लिए धन्यवाद.